My, little hunter. I didn't think I'd see you at this little soiree of mine. It doesn't seem as if you bothered to even bring a mask. Those at a masquerade ball simply must wear a mask. Such a social faux pas might brand you as pariahs. It might be difficult to hunt us supposed monsters if you can't attend parties like these. After all, we do enjoy our masks. Care to tell me why you came here tonight? The crowd isn't stopping you, my dear. There are 10 of you, yes? Are you implying all 10 of you can't take on little old me in a crowd? What a pity. I remember a time when hunters were filled with vigor and virtue. Nothing would stand in their way unless it was a hand of God. Or something like that. The oldest of bloodlines spanning generations of hunters who held the knowledge of the ages in their palm as they hunted those deemed monsters. They don't make them like that anymore, it seems. They wouldn't have hesitated to take me on. Were I the monster you claim, crowd or no. That is a noble goal indeed. Tell me, though, where in your description do you specify the innocent? Don't interrupt me. You've made an assumption, a terrible skewing of logic. Innocent is not relegated only to the human race. Beasts can be innocent, and, despite your prejudice, monsters can be innocent too. Especially when your race is very fond of labeling anything they don't understand as a monster. You understand that quite well, don't you? I'd imagine that little mishap with you and yours is exactly why you're hunting me right now. I suppose you think doing this will perhaps teach them that you're all not monsters. Just misunderstood, right? A monster? How droll. I may need to rethink the amount of sport you are. Look around the room, little hunter. Tell me, how many people do you have now? They should be easy to spot. After all, you ran into a masquerade ball without any masks at all. A rather significant blunder, not only in the social sense, but also in the hunting sense. Now you begin to understand. At least I would hope. You chased me into the ideal arena. For me. Don't worry about your people. While you label me a monster, you know very little about me. I'm not cruel. At least, not usually. I have been pushed to that point quite often. Hush now. One of the servers is coming. Thank you, dear. I would delight in a cup. Where were we? Yes. You and yours are called monsters. You're outnumbered. And you have no idea what you're facing in the slightest. Was that a decision by your superiors? It must have been. One wonders if that choice was made deliberately, or if they are all rather slow of mind. Temper. We're at a ball, my dear. Raise your voice to grab attention only. Otherwise, you'd best keep your tongue under control. A true monster might have simply ripped it from your head. Yet you keep it. Puzzling, is it not? Many mysteries surrounding not only you, but me as well. Are you simply following orders? Do you really believe that I am a monster? The sound of indoctrination. It has been ringing idly through the streets of late. I'll not try to convince you otherwise. I'm but a humble being who only wants to survive. Mayhap I could be considered a monster, but what if I'm not? Are your superiors setting you up to become the next monster? I can see it in your face. The thought had already crossed your mind. This ball isn't the usual place for your work. You yearn to reach out with that power of yours to test if it's true or not. No, don't deny it. I can feel the power coursing through you, my dear. What are we doing? This is a ball. We should dance and be merry. Come. I'm not going to bite you. That's what defeats the whole purpose of what I'm trying to do here. Give me a proper dance, yes? Just a short spin around the floor, I promise. One hand here, another there. Good. Now you can keep your prey close. Keep all these poor innocents safe from my nasty clutches. Yes. Your profession is a noble one that has been carried through generations of people. Your father was a hunter. Your father's father was a hunter, and so on. Death will not sink its icy touch into your skin for staying so close to me like this, nor will it injure me, which I am sure is much to your disappointment. I've lived through many of your kind attempting to send me into the void, darling. My song is eternal, and it shall never die. So there is a sense of humor underneath that stern exterior. Don't look so stricken. You're allowed to laugh. Humor is for everyone, though everyone has a different taste in it. It is not divided among lines, but for all to take a bite of. Don't soil it by saying, I can't laugh at a monster's jokes. That's a rather cruel abuse of humor, and I think it has had quite enough of that in recent times. Besides, for a moment there, admit it, you could almost see me as human, not as this monster you've painted me to be. So it has. You're inadequately attempting to sidestep around the obvious point I was rather gently trying to soothe into that thick skull. Shall we have another dance to see if it might sink in the second time around? Why are you shaking your head? I'm not that bad of a dancer, am I? All right. If you were going to be so stingy about touching me again, anyone would think you've developed a crush on me with the majesty of my dancing. You cannot evade the meaning of what happened on the dance floor, though, my darling. Everything eventually catches up with those that run like rabbits. Shall we grab a few refreshments and retire to, that table over there looks quite dashing, doesn't it? Our little talk around the dance floor reminded me of something. We've been playing this merry little game for a few years now, haven't we? Ever since your order set you on my trail. What was it? Ah, yes. 8 years ago. It must feel like a lifetime for you. To me, it's been naught but a blink of the eye. 'Tis the curse of living for so long. A dirty look won't change the fact that I'm far older than I look, and will likely live long past you, my darling. Did you know that I watched you for many years before you started to hunt me? Yes. In the melancholy of my age, I enjoy watching the people around me, since the order is particularly a thorn on my side. No, more like an irritating pebble in my shoe. I like to keep a closer eye on those in it. You caught my eye quite early on. I knew you acknowledged the power within yourself. However, I'm not responsible for that phenomenon. It is something I would like to study, as I have an inkling of where it might have originated. But I digress. It wasn't your power that drew my eye either. I was only suspicious that you might possess it until tonight, standing near you. You've never gotten this close before, have you? I've always slipped away just in time. A shadow within your grasp, even when you thought you had me pinned down. It has been fun. I keep dithering on. I kept an eye on you because, unlike most of your order, you truly mean that you want to protect the innocent. Come on now. Most of your order uses their status to push around the innocents they are meant to protect. They call me a monster, but you should see some of the things they get up to. In fact, your righteous attitude and devotion to the cause of protecting innocents is why they put you and your people on my trail. They hoped you might perish, all of you, by my hand, since not one of their agents has laid a finger on me unless I allow it. A rather intriguing puzzle, don't you think? That the best, most virtuous of the order were sent after the one monster they cannot hope to capture and will likely be killed by. It's almost as if your superior sent you and your people here to die. Imagine that. Yes, your people are all gone. Try not to cry, little hunter. They'll come to no harm. Perhaps you'll even learn a lesson from this encounter. Be careful where you go, for the trap may already be waiting for you. I can see you're not quite ready to face the truths I can perceive clearly. Devotion clouds your eyes, passion dulls your brain, and enthusiasm pushes you forward recklessly. In time, you could be an influential person wielding power to those who you fight hard for. When your superiors betray you, little hunter, and they will betray you, come find me. I'll be waiting for you. Hiya, Saki here. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that I was able to bring you some happiness, peace, and comfort. If you want to support me on Twitch, feel free to. I stream about every day. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would make me really happy. You can also find me on Patreon, Discord, or Twitter. Thank you so much for everything you guys do for me. I really, really appreciate it. Now, take care. Mwah.